Hello and welcome to Dubsta News, and today we're opening up the heritage slot. I'm Ryan and this is Chandrin.
Hi Ryan. Hi everyone.
And today we're going to be talking about the Golf W12 650 GTI. You've got knowledge about this vehicle that a lot of people don't have, and you wanted to bring it to Dubsta News to share with you guys, because when you look for information about this particular vehicle, there's not a lot about, but it really is something special. And we just wanted to go into a bit of detail with you about what it is. So the W12 650 GTI, is that the right order?
Golf GTI W12 650. Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, but yeah, that's what it is. Right.
Okay, and tell us about the launch of this car. When did it happen?
So this took place around about May 2007.
Okay.
It was in line with the Wörthersee show, which is a car show dedicated to the Golf GTI originally, but you see all sorts of
It's quite a show.
Products. Oh yeah, but it is. If you're into your cars and especially into your VeeDubs, it is the place to go.
Yep. Okay. So launched at Wörthersee, and look up Wörthersee. It's just worth having a look anyway. We fancy doing that road trip as a Dubsta road trip, so maybe you could tell us if you're interested in joining us. Yeah, put that in the comments below. So launched back in 2007. Hard to believe this is 15 years ago. Why? Why did Volkswagen do it? Because it's not the normal Volkswagen-esque product launch, is it?
So, I mean, anyone who's been to Wörthersee will know that Volkswagen do something special for its fans, for the fans of the GTI. So, this year,
nice of them.
Yeah, this year was, not unlike many other years that preceded it. So, 2007, May, in line with German Father's Day and so forth, they launched the GTI W12 650, and it was a major one-off. It was grand fanfare. You had big wigs from the board, supervisory board.
Okay, give us a bit of spec on this. Just lay out some of the details.
So it's loosely based, and I say loosely based on a Mark V Golf.
Okay. How loosely are we talking?
Only used the bonnet, basically, from the original car.
The bonnet.
Everything else was reinforced plastic, so it had the silhouette of a Mark V Golf, but it's mainly there to showcase Volkswagen's design cues, styling, and
hints of things to come in the future.
Oh, absolutely, and that is it. I mean, this is 2007. No car manufacturers has basically put in the features aerodynamically and styling-wise until now, and it was Porsche that have done it, but that's another story.
We'll perhaps come on to that another time. Okay, so you mentioned styling there, but it looks like a fat Mark V.
Yeah, but if you look at the front bumper, or from the grille down, and that's a very large sort of like a whale almost.
It's a bit of a catfish.
But a subtle one is on your Mark VI GTI. So although it's a GTI Mark V, it has more styling cues in common, which were then used on the Mark VI Golf GTI.
So big scoops on the back, suggesting engine in the back?
Yes, yeah. If you look very carefully, what I mentioned earlier about the aerodynamics, it's there to channel in cold air to the engine and to get rid of all that. A tremendous thing that was done by a small team who I think done this in 6 weeks.
What?
6 weeks.
Is that why it's made of sticky back plastic?
Reinforced plastic, yeah. Yeah, and bits of Audi R8 and Lamborghini.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's all encapsulated in Mark Golf 5. Features a W12 twin turbo engine, and it also has...
So what's that engine from?
Volkswagen Phaeton, Audi A8, and now currently used by Bentley.
Okay, big engine, big horses.
Big horses, oh yeah, and it's twin turboed as well, so you got 6 litres of pure German beef with...
rear wheel drive.
And rear wheel drive only.
Okay, so quite a short wheelbase, bit of a handful, as Clarkson demonstrated on Top Gear.
I think what Volkswagen didn't really say was, or what Volkswagen UK didn't even say was, the car after the Wörthersee show was disassembled into pieces.
Yeah.
And over in the UK, about 2 weeks after, you have Inters, or what is originally known as GTI International.
Okay.
And they wanted to have the car at GTI International for 2007. And what happened was Volkswagen UK contacted their colleagues in Wolfsburg, and Wolfsburg said, the car's in pieces, we've disassembled it. And the UK guy said, well, how quick can you put it together? Well, if you want to hurry up things, you need to come over, and that's what happened. They went over, got the car assembled.
Wow.
And
what sort of time frame we're talking about here?
A week. It was a week.
A car in pieces that has only been put together once,
Yeah.
put back together in a week.
So the reason when Jeremy
That
Clarkson...
would suggest it might not have been set up
Correct.
quite as it should have been.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why when Jeremy Clarkson drove it, you know, the suspension wasn't calibrated properly, so he was spinning around the place. But when he kept it in a straight line, he was more than pleased.
Yeah, yeah. So has this car actually done some track time? Has it been seen actually?
Round about launch time,
Yeah.
it was put through its paces on a former German airbase near Berlin, which is owned by Volkswagen. They do a lot of press.
Well, they own Berlin.
Well, they own this former Air Force base.
Okay, that's
And,
quite a handy asset.
Yeah, yeah, it was. And they put its paces through there. They discovered it could do 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. It could do over 200 miles per hour. I think it was 201, 202.
Wow.
So it's more than capable.
Wow. What a car. Maybe you've got a bit more technical stuff for the more geeky out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So the car sits around 70 millimetres lower than a
70,
standard.
that's quite a lot for a road car. Okay, yeah.
It has the same wheelbase as the Mark V Golf GTI. Obviously with the W12 twin turbo engine, it runs at 650 PS or 641 brake horsepower. Incidentally, there is a switch under the bonnet. If you switch it off, then it reverts to naturally aspirated mode.
Partner mode.
And yeah, that's around 400.
Okay,
450.
just a light 450.
Yeah. So what's it built on to allow it to have the engine in the back? So it's built on an Audi R8 subframe. It has or shares same brakes as a Lamborghini Gallardo, as well as its suspension. Obviously features that terrific 6-litre W12 with 2 turbochargers, and as we mentioned earlier, it does over 200 miles per hour. I think it's around 202. Don't quote me on that. And it's 0 to 60 comfortably accomplished in 3.7 seconds.
That's awesome. Amazing. What about the interior? Because that's one thing that hardly anyone's seen.
Well, as you see the pictures, it's all covered in Alcantara.
Yeah.
And features toggle switches, has 3 extra dials, I think oil pressure, turbo boost, and the turbo boost of the second turbo. And you know, overall attention to detail is stupendous. It does feature, incidentally, a exposed handbrake. What I mean by that, it shows the spring and mechanism, you know, that we all take for granted.
Yeah.
So it's quite, you know, very sporty and typical Volkswagen fashion, very Teutonic.
Roll cage?
No roll cage.
Interesting. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
And where is it now?
It's probably some storage bunker near Volkswagen Group in Wolfsburg. I have seen it.
I thought I'd seen it floating around in the museum maybe, but I haven't been over there.
Yeah, in the Autostadt is also featured in some VfL Wolfsburg, which is just down the river from Volkswagen, who built the stadium for that football team. Incidentally, they roll it around the sort of athletic circuits sometimes. Okay. But I've seen it at the Autostadt in the Zeithaus, which is their sort of museum.
Okay. Another one I want to do a road trip to.
I think that we can surely develop a list. But yeah, it's under wraps mostly, but it does come out.
Well, I hope to get to see it one day, because that is just an astonishing piece of engineering, really. And to think that was put together in 6 weeks, 15 years ago, and just wow. There's some other videos you can find on YouTube about this vehicle, but there's not a lot floating around, so here's a few more pictures for you to salivate over while we discuss what we're going to do next. Thank you very much for that, Chandrin.
Thank you, Ryan. It's been a pleasure.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you soon.